what, pray tell, do you assume would be the top story for today? Lord, if I ignored and skipped this story today, y'all was gonna fucking kill me, because when I tell you I got tagged at least 45 times in the whole Blac Chyna versus Robert Kardashian debacle yesterday, then I know something. I was just like, don't y'all understand that I got all the same blogs? I watch all the same shit that you guys do. I be keeping my ear to the streets, y'all. And y'all still was tagging me. I was just like, I can't take it. I can't take it. It was almost as bad as the Jay-Z day. We gonna talk about Jay-Z later. Let's talk about Blac Chyna and Rob. Listen, you guys, we have talked about these two numerous times. I will admit that when these two first got together, I was hopeful. I felt like Chyna was broken. When Tyga left her for Kylie, I felt like she was the small pawn used in this whole big scheme, and that she was not able to get her voice heard. So when she and Rob hooked up, I was hopeful that these two would make a go of it, and that they would, you know, kind of get out there and kill us with their relationship. Put it out there, they in love, they're a good looking couple, you know, get Rob back down, he'd lose the weight, he'd get his mental issues together, he'd get his confidence back up, you know, she would be with him, and okay, kind of like a general fuck you to the Kardashian family. You did what you did, but look at me and him, we doing. I had all them hopes, you guys. In retrospect, those hopes were probably naive of me. That is the side of me that likes to see the general good in people, that people are doing the right thing for the right reasons. The street side, the more common sense side of me, made me quickly realize that their relationship probably was not one that needed to happen. I had some suspicion, but it wasn't confirmed until their TV show, their reality show came out, and I was able to watch some of the episodes. And when you saw those episodes, you realized that their situation was so way more bigger than just the two of them. Mostly because Robert Kardashian, like I told you guys last week, is a fucking basket case. He has real mental issues. I believe that he self-medicates with drugs and alcohol. He has so many issues within himself that has nothing to do with anybody else. It could be the connection with his family, but what I'm saying is it was so separate from Blac Chyna and anything that she can do. He's got his own shit. When them two got together, and you've got Blac Chyna, who is former stripper, very street smart, who's been quite independent for some time, who is a hustler, someone who is not equipped in any kind of way to deal with the shit that comes with Rob. When them two got together, I knew immediately this is not going to work. And I told you guys, the fact that they have a baby now coming down the line is just going to make shit way, way worse. But I've always felt like, even with Chyna and whatever shit that she has done, that Robert Kardashian is the main issue in that relationship. Okay, so they got together, they got pregnant, they got engaged. Things was moving at a whirlwind pace. We got some good kikis and giggles off of the fact that she was pregnant. And like I said, it was a fuck you to the family. But, you know, once we get out of that whole, like, you know, sniggling, giggling, wanting to gossip about shit, you got to realize that this is a life. These are people's lives. This is a child that you bring in. It's different now. So these two now together, we have seen them break the engagement, fight publicly, get back together, fight some more, get back together, fight some more, and then get back together. It has happened so many times that we have just got to the point where it's just like, oh, whatever. Okay, they're going to be back together in a couple of weeks. Whatever your version of together might be, because lo and behold, yesterday, Rob let out a whole load of all the shit that has been going on with him and Blac Chyna. Now, the shit that he was saying, it was not surprising to me, because their relationship has evolved so much. Okay, first of all, as far as we knew, those two weren't together anymore. Behind the scenes, Blac Chyna has been telling them shit, you know, kind of leading them on, keeping him on the string, making them think that, you know, that they're gonna get back together eventually, or she's been fucking him. This is what happens when people break up and be trying to fuck around with each other still, and they seeing other people. That is all normal. What makes the scale bigger is the fact that Rob Kardashian has all this money. So in order to keep him in her presence, you know, he's been spending all this money on her, buying her jewelry, buying her cars, and doing all these things for her. When you are a street person, when you a hustler, okay, when you see a trick, nigga, you know how to work a fucking trick. You gonna get this shit. You not gonna turn it down. When you see that a motherfucker is just gonna keep on doing shit for you, it takes a certain kind of person. And we would have liked for her to be that kind of person, but she's not. And I don't know what made him think that she was anything less than that kind of person. She's going to take advantage. She's going to take the gifts. She is still going to do what she wants to do. Okay? Because, technically they are not together. So when you look at it from a street perspective like that, then just like Snoop Dogg said, okay, Chyna saw a sucker and she licked him. Go find you somebody else. I sat and I watched all the shit that went on social media yesterday, and it was quite entertaining, I will admit. I'm not going back and forth into who the people was, Ferrari and, somebody else, and she's fucking all these people in his bed with his clothes on, his robe, and, we can't. The bottom line is, if you knew she was still doing all this shit and you was still spending the money, you was trying to keep her in your, you was trying to stay in between her legs, you really was the stupid one. You was the dummy, okay? Now, what makes you kind of feel sorry for Rob is, like I said, Rob's got issues. He's got low self-esteem. He has picked up all that weight. He's become a recluse. Like I said, I believe he's on drugs. I believe he drinks, and so just a fucking mess. I hate to see how many of the men out there especially are trying to make it seem like, Blac Chyna was just this hoe. I don't know if I would put it out there that she's just this hoe, and that but like I said, you gonna be giving the shit away like this. Okay, you got to remember the background that I came from, bitch. I'm about to get this, because really, how many fucking Lamborghinis and Ferraris and Maseratis and shit do you need? You're one person. You can't drive all these cars, but I'm gonna take it. I'm going to take it if you're going to give it. And that has no bearing on what Chyna has been able to do for her own self, because Chyna had her own before she got with Rob. She had her own place. She has her own businesses. And but definitely Rob Kardashian was an upgrade like nobody's business. Now it is just a fucking mess, because you have got involved with somebody who has... he was so on one yesterday that they had to finally cut off his Instagram. Okay, he said that Instagram did it. I have every belief that his mother cut that shit. He moved on to Twitter and kept on going on and on and on and on over there. But, I can't feel sorry for Rob. They definitely are both in the wrong here. But I just feel like Rob is more of the issue. And that it didn't need to go here like this. And now that I feel like Blac Chyna is just in this mode where she's just like, fuck it, fuck him, I don't care. That's why she's posting all this other shit. But yes, you could tell that relationship was fucked up. Now they're saying that they had domestic violence. Okay, I believe that they fought. I don't believe that he just hit her. She don't seem like the type that'll just get a hit. So I believe they probably fought. It was just a relationship that never need to happen. Something that started off as funny, something that everybody was boasting and having a good time with. Okay, the shit got real fast. And then all the people that have weighed in. We've had Snoop, we've had 50 Cent, we've had T.I. Now, out of all the shit that went on yesterday, I did get a good giggle off of T.I.'s. Just the fact that his ass had been jumped in like, Snoop Dogg had done, and just said, you was the duck. You was the one. Okay, basically, you got taken advantage of. Just kind of, lick your wounds and move on with your life. Don't put it out here in social media. And that shit was funny as hell. When Rob was just like, oh, since T.I. wanted, tell the business too. Let's talk about how, T.I. paid to have a threesome with Chyna and Tiny and himself. And even though we've known them to be swingers, both T.I. and Tiny have somewhat confirmed that. And that's been the talk throughout all of Atlanta, and I think I've told you guys that plenty of times. It still was funny to me because it was just like, nigga, why don't you go sit your big old apple head ass down some fucking where and stop jumping in everybody's business and making it your own fucking business. Okay, well, we gonna make it all of our business since you want to talk. So that shit just kind of made it, you know, it was funny to me. I just felt the worst for Tiny, because I was just like, Tiny out here trying to sing with Escape. She ain't hurting nobody, and every fucking single time she gets dragged down by that fucking husband of hers. We gonna talk about them in a little bit too. But getting back to Rob and Chyna, you know, him releasing the pictures of her naked, and I just don't know what he thought what he was gonna achieve with that, because I don't think any of the shit that he said was all that surprising to us. Okay, first of all, she was a stripper. Plenty of people have seen her naked. Okay, she's proud of her body, so I don't think that is any issue. Yeah, he says he paid for plastic surgery and all these modifications, and who cares? Everybody has fucking plastic surgery and modifications, including your sisters. So, you know, motherfucker, again, you gonna pay for it, then why the fuck not? We're gonna see if he even gets in trouble with that revenge porn. You know, there's a revenge porn law out in California. Exes can't release naked pictures of their, you know, former boyfriend or girlfriends without threat of being prosecuted for that. So he may even get in trouble for that. But listen, both of them are wrong. But if I was going to place most of the blame, I would place it on Rob Kardashian, only because you got. You let yourself get got. It was a fucking trick. That's it. That's what you have become. I won't say that that's what it was from the beginning, but that was what you became. Once the feelings was gone, once you guys have been through all of the shit that you've been through, once you guys now have some resentment for each other, it's much easier to take shit from you, gifts, money, jewelry, cars, homes, whatever, and still fuck somebody else, because I don't really care about you no more like that. So, you know, hey, I hate to see it happen, but I really feel like Rob needs to get some help. Rob needs to get some help. And yes, it would be nice if Chyna wouldn't be rubbing shit in with Rob and pushing a nigga over the edge too. But that's just kind of how I see it. That's how I see it. I know that Chyna is, you know, that bitch is the fucking role model for the gold diggers out there. Nigga, if you gonna do shit, do it like she did. Okay? Because I don't really see where you know, shit was bad for her along any of these lines. Other than she's always going to have to deal with the dramatics of the Kardashian, you know, the engine that I tell you guys about all the time. She is now wrapped up in that because of Little Baby Dream. And when it all boils down to it, who suffers the most in this is Little Baby Dream. She's got two fucking lunatic ass parents. Child, it happens to the best of us, I guess. But that's pretty much it. I have talked about this 17 minutes. I'm going to try to edit it down some. But, yeah. I mean, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to watch and see what happens. But, you know, from watching shit like this go down between the two of them in the past, you know, he going to go from mad to acceptance to he's sorry to them two back together again. It's a vicious cycle. Nothing will change until Rob gets help. That's it.